All right. We are live. Back again. Happy Thursday as the music dies down and the conversation heats up. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night to wherever anybody is tuning in. Back with Jack and John McCaig, officially, his person. And back to talk about trusts and everything attached to it. And all the possibilities that go along with it. I'm Tim Judge, the producer here for Jack, and let's take it away. What's your thought of the week?
I love that intro. First of all, you did the Truman Show intro. That is so great and very funny and right on point, Tim. I loved it. Honestly, I'm gonna talk about our general situation, the economy, what's going on. I know that's on a lot of people's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And after everyone's heard their version of what's going on. David, hey, what's going on? It kind of comes back to what to do with my work. And Tim, before we got on the show, had the greatest question to lead into this, honestly. And because I think there are a lot of people in a situation that Tim just described with his question. So for me, if you could just totally ask that question in a similar way again, then I can dial into all the pieces of that. I think it would be very useful.
Well, I'll just say, and if people don't remember, but just so that anybody watching this, I opened my trust about a year ago. Got into foreclosure situation with my house and everything, and trying to turn that all around. And of course, and I've been in real estate for a long time, and I had a great fight. Jack knows it's a long story, 14-year story, just maddening. But anyway, watching headlines and news, and I do have this for my real estate show, but I want to show you this, Jack. That and you can't believe the mainstream media because they say mortgage rates plunge and demand finally inches back, which is the farthest thing from the truth. Just to go over the bullet points, look at this. They decreased from last week 7.61 from 7.86. They're calling that a plunge. They're using the plunge word. If you go back to second grade, this is not a synonym for plunge. 761 to 786. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They're like, oh, rates are dropping. Everything's going to come back. It's so silly. But the challenging part about that and recovering after my situation predicament is to get some credit going for my trust so that I can build that up and put my next house into a trust and protect it in all the ways we know that a trust can. But also building the credit was my big thing, because my credit shot after the fight that I put up, and so now building back and building smart with the trust. I want to know how to build that that credit as fast as possible.
And I think this is a topic, whether you have great personal credit or not, this is a really important thing to talk about for a lot of people right now. So let's look at the general overview for a second. Then I'm going to get right into Tim's stuff. I'm not going to take a long time to do it. What I'm going to do is reference, okay, obviously, I've explained the In God We Trust. It's a trust. You have your trust yourself, anyone listening, or you're going to get a trust, right? What Tim's talking about, we have a course on it, business finance, okay? And it comes in the McCaig Mastery bundle. You get that in it, and it takes you step by step on how to build credit for a trust, okay? You get the trust, that's the trust part, and then the business finance is how to build credit for your trust, okay? So now let's go into current events and past events a little bit. The reason I bring that up is because, okay, you're going to start a trust, okay? Whoever you are, whoever you're listed, in this case, Tim did. I have one. whoever it is, you're the only one in control of it. It's not like, hey, you get it from me and I'm in it. No, 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 no. This thing you're at 100% control of, and you remain only in 100% control of it at all times. Okay.
Mm.
Why do I bring that up? Because the Igawi trust is a trust. Okay. So I'm bringing this into current events because who makes decisions on a trust? Whose vote in deciding what happens with a trust makes any decision happen? Well, if you're the trustee of the trust, it's just you. Every decision is your decision. Now let's bring this to the Igawi trust. Everyone casts votes, you know what I mean? But unless you're a trustee of the Igawi trust, they're not counting your vote.
Right.
That's the way it is. Meaning every single election is predetermined, predecided by the trustee of the Igawi trust. Who's that? The devil, obviously, right? Are you going to
Mhm.
let somebody else be all your trust with you? You know what I mean? No, I don't recommend it. Maybe if you're husband and wife, okay, there could be a reason, but I still recommend you each have your own trust. Okay. So you're going to be the sole decider of your trust. Well, there's one decider of the Igawi trust. So, unless you're a trustee, they don't count your votes. So now let's take this to, current events. All right. Trump was president. We had this, nobody knew about it, planned thing, right? That happened. And then this financial potential disaster. And then so what happened during that? Helicopter money, right? So Trump is Mr. Helicopter money. Then they get this other, President Brandon's in there now, and he is, you know, he's just placed there. Obviously, nobody voted for this guy. You know what I mean? Except the current trustee of the We Trust. Hey, you're president. There you go. So we're in this little holding pattern until Trump comes back in again, and it's like, uh, see, we helped you, and once again, helicopter money. Okay. I want to show this pattern of what's happening because, I mean, they can't just go, crash, boom, and the whole place goes up in flames. Like, that's not
Right.
their thing. Order out of chaos is their thing. Oh, let's make this chaotic stuff. And then, oh, look, we saved you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the dude with the hairdo, he's going to save us again. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty easy script to see what's coming. Okay. And that's why I said, oh, Tim, we were talking before the show. Do you have anything on your mind? And he had this on his mind, which is exactly what I wanted to talk about in this show. And I know it's on everybody's mind. So I want to go through this. Okay. So last time we did helicopter money. Now, for years, I was saying this is how you build credit for a trust. This is how you do it. I have been teaching people for years and showing proof of what was happening too. This is how I build credit, all that stuff. All right. I crashed my person's credit, before that whole, helicopter money
Mhm.
disaster event with Trump. I crashed on purpose, get cash, money was tight. It was for everybody. That's why they made a problem and then they helicopter moneyed us out of it. And now we're, crashing and burning again. The money's, people are out of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna have another, plague situation? Honestly, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're gonna have something. Interest rates are making it happen anyway, so we're gonna have this event coming up. So we gotta plan for it, and that's what I want to talk about right now. So that was a little background on it. Now I'm gonna go directly into Tim's question. Okay, myself, horrible personal credit in the low 500s when helicopter money happened, okay? Last time. But I posted proof that I got the EIGL under my personal, all that stuff for the trust. But I mean, you didn't personally, you did personally guarantee it, but what happened was my personal credit, its credit score had no impact on them giving the IDL money. Only the credit profile of the trust. That's the only thing they looked at was the credit profile of the trust, not my personal thing. They did make me sign for personal guarantee. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't look at the credit number, nothing like that, to
Mm.
make me to make the trust eligible. That wasn't a part of it, you know. And I even, I got proof and got the PPP money too. So the same deal. Personal credit was not necessary to get that money, so it's not going to be necessary coming up either. Otherwise, hardly anyone's going to get it because they're crashing everybody's credit right now. Personal credit, not just Tim, everybody's getting into this short money situation. Can't pay the bills, can't pay the mortgage, et cetera, et cetera. Pre-planned, all of it. So what I'm saying is, last time, just like the time coming up. Sorry about that. Just like the time coming up, uh, it's going to be about the credit profile of the trust. Okay, and so you don't need personal credit to build that credit profile to get it where it's eligible for an SBA or whatever agency they're going to use to give away money. Okay, so, and that happens. First of all, it's in a course, like I said, that comes along. And even if you just got the trust, you can go get the business finance course on its own. You have the information. I know Tim's got it, but I want to go through it. It takes some time to build a credit profile for a trust because it's not like, oh, hey, I got this great personal credit, so I'm just going to get these credit cards and da da da. It's not like that. That's why Tim's concerned, and that's why other people are concerned. Like, oh, I can't, I'm used to getting credit with my personal credit and stuff. I don't have that right now. Okay. So then you step by step it with your trust. Okay, you start out with really small accounts, and we got them listed what the vendors are that do this. You get net 30 accounts, the ones, and it takes a couple months because you gotta each one. There are only a few that report, and they're kind of known what they are. They switch a little bit, but they're getting, let's say you want to get office supplies, the ones that report that you made the payments and stuff charge you more for office supplies,
Right. Right.
but you don't have to. You get like $50 or $100 worth of stuff, and but in a couple months you do that a couple times, you have this reporting, this account reporting to your credit profile of your trust, and
Right.
so you do that with a few of the bottom tier net 30 was, and then you're like, oh, I can get up to now you've done the bottom tier, they're all reporting. What happens then? You don't need to call up Dun& Bradstreet to get a DUNS number. If you do these net 30 accounts that have a report to your trust credit profile, then the DUNS number is automatically issued. Once you start creating this credit report, then does like, oh, okay, it hit our radar. Here's your Dun& Bradstreet number, and we have all of this step by step of the business finance. I explained it to you there, but I'm just saying I generally want to go through this stuff because people should really. It takes time. I The way to really make this happen is to put it in your schedule, like an hour a week. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not that
Right.
much time. Certain day is pre-planned, hey, on Friday at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. or whatever you decide, you're going to do an hour on this credit report. You're going to go into the business finance thing. You're going to learn what it's saying. And then, oh, I get it. Next week or the next 2 weeks, you'll be like, okay, I'm started on accounts and so on. And so you're working through that step by step each week. So in a few months, because sometimes this takes a couple months, certain net 30 was don't report like every month. Well, they report every month eventually, but in the beginning, maybe they take a month or two or three to
Mhm.
report. Not all of them do, but some of them do. And there aren't super many net 30 accounts that report. You're going to be buying I bought, like cleaning supplies for my house or something,
Mhm.
you know, stuff that doesn't cost much. Like, okay, I need laundry detergent. I need
You're going to use it anyway. Right.
paper towels, stuff that's a little overpriced, but it's coming to your house. So you got to use it. It's not a complete waste of money, but it gets you to report. So,
Right.
and over time, like if you do this, so you'd work on this, say for a year, you're going to have a bomb credit report, which sounds crazy, You know what I mean? Because you're taking concepts from your personal credit and be like, well, I can't. But no, business credit is 100% like totally a different ball of wax. The way business credit works is it's not like personal credit. This is how it's done. They report an account how fast you pay it. That's it. So what you always excuse me, whenever you're getting an account, like let's say, oh, I'm gonna make this purchase on this account and so on. You don't like go, oh, now I'm gonna, really pay it fast, pay it right after I made the purchase.
Right.
No, 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 you don't do that. You get something and then you wait for the statement,
Right.
because getting the statement is they're going to report that. Okay. But then you get the statement, you pay it like that day or the next day,
Hmm.
as soon as
Hmm.
you pay. And then they report that you paid it very quickly. And so that goes into the credit report for a business that you paid quickly. It's like, okay, great. So as long as you do that, that you're going to get, say a Dun& and Bradstreet experience score. They're kind of, they're 0 to 100, both of them, but you want to be 75 or above. And just doing that is going to give you a credit score for your business above 75, which, and that's what, say, SBA looked at, when they
Right.
did the helicopter money. They're like, okay, if you have like, I don't know what the number was because everyone was above it, everybody got it. Uh, but it was, I don't know, pretty low probably, but it was 70 or something and above, and you're going to get the money. I tried doing it for a trust that just had no credit report. Uh, okay.
Alan says this is odd, but when I set up a Verizon account for the trust, they generated a Dun and Bradstreet number for the trust, and they said they needed a Dunn's number to open the Verizon account.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In other words, they're going to generate it on their
Right.
own, which is cool. You're going to have an account that does that. In this case, it was a phone one. And they're, quote, little rules like Alan just explained, they could change a little bit. That's sort of internal policies based on credit crunching stuff that's going on out there in the economy.
Right.
Hey, we need to have this or that. But generally, those things are doable. If it's like, oh, hey, you need this Verizon thing. First of all, that you need a business phone number. You don't anymore.
Mhm.
Uh, I use the free Obama phone, whatever you want to call it. That's my business profile phone number. They
Phone
don't care.
number.
So I debunked that you have to have a landline, that you have to have a business uh, cell.
Dedicated business line.
Yeah, which saves money. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so, you can even do it with a free phone. They don't even care about that. So, all I'm always trying to see, oh, what attributes are absolutely necessary to do this, to get the proper credit profile. And the main thing is, because the main thing that you have to do with this trust that's, say, different than any other, like a LLC or what have you, is you have to register at the Secretary of State first before you build the credit profile. So that takes a minute or whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying?
That was actually Amari's question. How do we register the trust with the state, and does it matter which state you register in?
Doesn't matter. Okay, let's do that in two pieces. That's a good question. First of all, that's in the business finance course. How to do that is in the business finance course. It's right in there. It's all in there. So, uh, and if it's it, what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry, I
Does it
missed.
matter which state you registered in?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Uh, for me, it doesn't, as far as a credit profile. First of all, no, it doesn't. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. But if your state uh, not every state registers a trust. They don't all have a pathway to do that. Okay, but many do. Uh, I go through the example of Florida. We have LibertyAid Academy has for students only. We have a private forum called the Classroom. It comes in my Keg Mastery Trust thing. You just free online log in there. There are many people have done this, registering a trust in many states, so you can get in there with your
Right.
homies, right? Other people in there, and see where they registered and where they have it and so on like that. I give how to fill out the form for Florida, and I also, as I do it, give every single principle of each item that you're filling out to do it, so you can register in any state. But if you're having trouble registering, you're in the classroom, you're saying, hey, here's the link, here's the thing, and I'll follow you forward with your thread, and so will everyone else. Maybe someone or many in your state that have already registered, like, hey, do this, do that. you know People want your success who are doing this work, and if they succeeded, they're like, oh, this is how you do it. So it's
Right.
not just me. I can help you through whatever state you're registering and stuff, but you'll find that each state is going to have its own little paperwork and trail and stuff like that. And many other people may have done your state, so they'll jump in and give you a hand. So that's the thing that's necessary. Why? Let's go into why that's necessary, okay? Uh, because every other entity that you get is already registered as Secretary of State. Why? Because the Secretary of State is selling them. You see,
Mhm.
the say if you get an LLC, you purchase it from a
Right.
Secretary of State of some state. So part of what you're paying for is that registration. Okay, now let's go into why Yeah,
He says, "Thank you. A bit confused in my state. I'll definitely take advantage of the tools provided." Yep.
absolutely fantastic. So, why do you need to register the Secretary of State? I want to go into that for a second. Because you're filling out an application for credit, right? And you got an address and this stuff. And so a creditor, you're applying, hey, I want credit, for this net 30 account or whatever. They're going to be like, well, do we have recourse? You know what I mean? Can we
Mhm.
come after you if you don't pay? And they can't if you're not registered in Secretary of State. They don't know where you are or your address or nothing like that. This is the way you give a public profile to, like, your business, your trust name, its address, who the trustee is. Those basic details are up there. Well, that's for every other entity. It's already up there. This is the one piece that I tried building credit and doing all this stuff and try to get around everything, like the phone number and other things. I got around things that were extra expenses that were just a waste of money. But I can't get around this. No one can, because of that reason. A creditor wants recourse. You see, you have to be registered for them and have recourse. That's why it's a necessary thing. Okay. Uh, so that's kind of the overview of what we need to do to prepare ourselves for the helicopter money. Is
Mhm.
each one like expensive to do? No, no, this isn't an expensive process, but it's expensive in time. In other words, oh, we're
Yeah.
doing helicopter money next week. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. You can't. You have to prepare now. You know what I mean? And then X amount of 9 months, a year later, it's looking golden. You know what I mean? I got 5 reported uh, credit accounts. My number's high. Everything's in order. And so that, if you were to fill out the application for whatever helicopter money is coming, then it fits. It checks every box. And so they're going to approve. Okay. I mean, PPP money was forgivable, for crying out loud. You
Mhm.
didn't need a good personal credit score. You only needed what I'm talking about, credit profile for your trust, and they're dumping the money on you. I mean, are they going to do that again? They have to. They have
Yeah.
to do this. Like, the economy is just going to shatter
Yeah.
completely, and then they don't want
Well,
them burning
my
the government buildings or whatever, or the banks, right? What were you going to say, Tim? Sorry.
I just think I think it's coming, but I think what it's gonna be is, in, crypto, the Fed now. I was with my, daughter yesterday opening up a bank account for her first main bank account on her own. And I'm sitting there, and so they said, "Oh, you could do direct deposit, and you'll get approved for this." And then she just slipped in there like it was nothing ever mentioned before. And she goes, "Oh, and we can do transactions in the Fed Now coin." and I'm a crypto enthusiast,
Whoa.
and and she just it was just one of the 10 things that she said, that will be able to go through the Chase bank account. And I was like, she just happened to mention the Fed Now coin. And I think that going back to, instead of just getting these checks coming in the mail, which I got quite a few of them, I think what they're going to start doing is this Fed Now coin, so that they can go into the crypto realm. I see that's how they're going to be doing it, because they love the blockchain, and they're gonna start using that, instead of just writing the checks to people, because then people just cash them and then use cash, and they hate cash now. They don't want people using cash, which I love.
Right? No disagreement. So in any case, whatever they're giving out, whatever the
Yeah.
hit is that you could use to buy food or pay for things or whatever it's going to be,
Right.
it's going to be the same credit profile that gets you those chits, dollars, Fed coin now, whatever it may be. The thing that's going to do it is that credit profile. That's not going to
Right.
change. People are like, well, what if they don't do this anymore? It's like, well, what do you mean they're going to remove the entire financial system? And then what are you talking about? Like, that's impossible. That
Right.
can't, how, what, they make special rules and special coins and these kind of things, but what gets you it? The credit profile, you see? So it's always coming down to that. Uh, you know, I was going to say, are they going to do another, the bar? Sorry.
And Mark says, absolutely, they want to see where every transaction is going so they can tax it. That's the game they love the most. They'll tax it when they give it to you. They'll tax it when you spend it, and they'll tax it all day long.
Thank you, Amari. And that's why this trust is so important, because there is a super element of privacy with this, isn't there?
Mhm.
Like, you don't report, you don't pay taxes. Same with their trust of a similar kind. They don't report, they don't pay taxes. So, yeah, they do want to tax everything, but they also want to control everything. That's their main thing, is control. I mean, they pretend like they need taxes. They don't need taxes. What are you kidding? No. Control mechanism. Thank you,
Oh,
Ali.
you got it. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. See, they want to control everything. You see what I'm saying? And what gets you right? You want to come in, hey, I'm just one of those guys. Your credit profile does that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what gets you, okay, I'm over the line. I'm one of you guys. Hey, here I am. You and I, we got, the business credit profile. Who's doing this in every day?
CI says he wants to cash out his credit cards and move to Costa Rica.
Perfect. And let's get into it. Like, this is the reason you build credit for your person, your trust, everything. Build the giantest credit profile you could possibly generate. You know, you're not going to be using all the credit cards or anything, but what if you have to? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
oh, I need the cash. I want to move here. I want to go there. What if, who knows? Do I know? I don't know what the next domino is that they're going to go, hey, let's crash this thing. Last time anybody predict a plague? I don't think so. But I was like,
Right.
they're going to do something.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Who knows what? Who cares what it is?
Well, before the first pandemic was over, they were saying, this is good preparation for the next pandemic. Like, they had a plan that it was coming all along. So, or the next one's, right around the corner.
Exactly. So this is the way they have to do things now. If they don't, they can't be like, oh hey, we're actually 100% communist. You know what I mean? We just give a, if you sell your soul, you can have money and houses and everything. I was offered that. I'm like, no thanks. I'll go this way instead, and just, I'll be on your radar, and I got the credit profile, and you can give it out. But let's go into the Costa Rica thing again, okay? Because And I tell this to everybody everywhere I go, everybody got money problems. I'm out there, among just regular people. I mean, there are a lot of people living in their van and living in their car, especially in Florida, because it's warm here. I interact with a lot of these people, and they planned it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get my uh, cost low, I'm going to live where it's warm, and I'm going to be at the beach every day at low overhead. And so if you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, go to Costa Rica, whatever your plan is for yourself, your family, what have you, like building up credit and then crashing it is the way to go.
Mhm.
You build it, not that you want to plan to crash it, but obviously they have a plan to crash it, not you.
Right.
You're just preparing to, we got mouths to feed up in here, children ourselves, we got to put a roof over our head and stuff. Like we got to do that, So if you're going to mess up,
And one quick point, and just to clarify, you can open up multiple trusts just like you do a business.
you,
So
you
if
can.
you build up one and you say you have, in God we trust America, and then in God we trust Costa Rica, and and you build up the first one, the American one, and then you crash that, and then you're still working on building up the credit for your in God we trust Costa Rica, which still has credit because they're not tied to each other.
No, it's
Isn't that
true.
correct?
There, yes, but you know, that's kind of I when people bring that up, I say, listen, build one first, do one
Right.
first, get to the other side, and then decide if it's relevant to your situation to do another one. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To take the time to do it. If it is, fine. But having one, you could get, the whole PPP, the whole EIDL, you get it all. Could you have doubled it with another trust? Yeah, I had someone do that. Double up. They got 150 or 150 for each trust. They did
Right.
that. It is possible to do it. But I mean, don't
Well, I'm not saying to, start a whole room of spinning plates, but if you've got one going and it's got a lot of credit and you're working in it, it's great. The next one started, even, I'm thinking about my kids, just helping them go through the steps that so that at some point they're ready to, build their own credit the way it could be, to its max potential.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. But it's what I find is sort of mentally, people are a little bit challenged on that, and they think, "Oh, to build all these kingdoms." But what happens when I'm not talking to them later is it
Mhm.
just feels like a little too much.
Right.
That's why I say do one and then
Right.
do it a second way. You know how to do it. So it's
Right.
like,
I
what?
wouldn't start the second one until you've mastered the first one, until you have great, big credit so that if you needed to crash it or pull it all out or pull it, burn it down, once you've done it once, it's always easier to do it the second time or the third time.
100%,
But I
100%.
wouldn't start my first one and my second one in the same month.
That's
You
what I'm
get
saying.
one. I know what you're saying now. I'm still working on my first. I'm not going to start my second one when I don't know what I'm doing on my first one.
That's what I'm getting at
Yeah. Yeah.
because it becomes a bit of a mental challenge, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that, it's too much because they're already overwhelming us.
Mhm.
That's why we were even talking about this, you know what I mean? Only so many hours of the day and a week and so on. So doing was really important.
Was it the namesake trust that got the PPP money?
Nah, I recommend like a church name trust getting like that one. No, I don't recommend messing that one up. No, I recommend that as kind of like your honey pot. You know what I mean? That's where you're gonna put your money. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna build a credit profile for your trust that you're obviously gonna crash, I recommend like a church name trust for that. 3 words. Third word is always trust, right? So and then we're in America, we're a Christian country, blah, blah, blah. That's what they say. I don't, whatever, right?
Mhm.
They say it. So the idea is to fly under the radar, you know? And so it'll be Christ or Christian will be one of the names of that trust.
Right.
Why do we name a trust what we name it? Not for us. We don't name a trust for us. "Oh, I'm gonna make, happy little churchy trust." Just like, you didn't listen to what I said. We're
Hmm.
naming it so we could get credit and money.
Right.
That's why we're doing it, and so we fill out applications, that name is for them. It's not for us. It's like, "Oh, this will not raise any red flags with anyone. Oh, this is a church, blah, blah, blah." You see how simple it is? No red flags on any application, open a bank account, nothing. No red flags occur the whole way through. Keep it simple. Why 3 words? It fits in every application line for every application. The
Hmm.
goal is to make your job of doing your work and making this credit profile as absolutely easy as possible. So just follow these very simple little steps. It'll be so easy. Don't get your ego or your mind in it or nothing like that. You got to be thinking on that piece of paper is coming across their desk or that electronic thing. And, AI, the demons, right? Whatever. They don't think. They just like, oh, this worked. Click, you get it. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, don't mess up your first and last name trust. Keep that one. That's like where you want to put stuff, you know?
Right.
Like, because it's the
I think you said last week that your namesake trust is used for your manage your inheritance, or the money you're putting in there so that you can keep that long term.
well, why? Because any bank or any financial institution that you go in, you have ID, right? Your
Mhm.
person, your strawman. So they're like, "Oh, you want to open a trust? Yeah." You know, what's the easiest story that they get anywhere, right? "Oh, I just, get ready for future generations. That's all,
Right.
and my first and last name trust, here's ID." The opposite of red flags are like, that's what everybody says that comes through their door. You
Right.
see? So that's all you want to do. And so anywhere you go for the rest of your life, that thing you'll get, oh, banks are failing. Some banks are getting bigger. That's all. They're always going to be banks. So when you go in their door and you want a bank account for your trust, you just want to go, okay, here you go. Here's your debit card. Here's your bank account.
Right.
That's what you want. So that one, that first and last name trust is the one you just never want to, doesn't necessarily need a credit profile. It could get one as maybe your second one or to make your life easier as you go. Sure, but doesn't really need a credit profile. Not necessarily. That would be like the last one to build, because you're
Hmm.
not going to mess up the credit. So why you even need credit for that? That's
Right.
like where you dump everything and keep
Right.
it, and you got ID, so you're going to get it out.
If I were to get a job that had direct deposit, I could get it directly deposited into my name trust.
Of course, or any trust, but again, they'll just be like, "Oh, blah 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 trust." So your W-9, they'll be like, "Oh, okay." And what's the only question HR or anyone might ask, or something like that? You know what I mean? "Oh, you got a trust?" So you're like, "Oh yeah, uh, my dad, mom." How you have a little
Hmm.
story like, just we use trust for tax stuff."
Right.
Don't nothing specific. They don't know anything. So you're
Right.
like, "Yeah, it's just a tax thing that my accountant, my mom, my dad, my lawyer," just a little one sentence thing, and they go, "Oh, okay." Because
Right.
what do they know? Yeah, they don't know nothing. They just need to
Yeah.
hear you give a
Well,
stupid little,
odds are they don't have a trust and don't know anybody that has a trust. So they go, "Oh, you got a trust." And you go, "Yep."
"Yeah, it's my name, my accountant said it was a good idea."
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm an accountant. I'm telling you it's a good idea. It's the truth. And so very simple again. No red flags over there in HR. They're like, "Oh, okay, here you go." What do they care? They don't care.
Right.
Yeah. Uh
Kelly says hello. Showed up
oh,
a little late, but she's here. Kelly Wing.
he. That Kelly is a he. And him and Ethan, he's the grandfather. Ethan's the grandson. They're holding down the West Coast, the Northwest. These two, man, if people knew more, they're kind of a quiet little duo doing so much up there. Every time I think about them and what they've done and all this stuff, they're like, "Don't tell anybody else." Like, okay, I won't. They've had so much success, and they've been doing this a while since before the last helicopter money. This duo is like the biggest fly under the radar combo you're ever gonna see. I love those guys.
Nice. David says the banks also typically don't mind transferring real estate into your trust that shows that you're the trustee.
Correct. David got his trust recently. Very savvy business guy. 100% he's right. And he wants me, I think, to go into the submitted, and that is, uh, you know, if you're one of the very few individuals I'm probably speaking to that owns real estate, right? Uh, One of the goals of the trust is, you want to put it in a trust and then have, go through the application process of the property tax removal. So you have an
Mhm.
exemption for that. And I go into that very clearly on how to do the property tax exemption. That's one of the things in the mentor program. The mentor program, here's what it is. There's a thing for the trust. There's a business finance course. The trust is the trust. You open the trust. Business finance is what we're talking about, how to build a credit profile for your trust. And then the mentor program is everything else you can do with a trust. Uh, One of the things being, how to get property tax exemption. So what he's saying is, now if I've already gotten a mortgage with the LLC or my purse or whatever on this property, hey, can I, transfer it into a trust? Because it has to be owned by, a like church trust to go through the application process at the county level for property tax exemption, right? So you're talking about changing the deed over without paying off the mortgage, you see? And what I found in every case, and I could go through this a lot, is as long as you're paying the mortgage, the bank don't care at all. And that's exactly what David got told to his face by a banker one day is, man, we don't care who owns your property. We care if you're gonna pay.
Right.
That's so so you see, you can transfer it into a trust, you can go through the property tax exemption thing, and you don't have to change your financer or nothing like that as long as you keep paying. So I'm sorry I missed that last one, Tim.
The last one was just agreeing with what we did there. Shane registered the name trust this year, filled out a W-9 in trust, and has been paid in the trust every month.
Don't you
So
love it?
well done.
And this is what I want to get into. You see, who has proof? I could be sitting here talking about all this stuff, and I'm just sound like another idiot on social media with a good fairy tale. But that's not it at all. I got proof for a decade that everyone did this. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why people listen. I all the people I interact with day after day. Hey, is this 1099 thing cool? Is this sovereignty thing? I was like, so you're telling me your teacher he makes a claim he could do this, and I ask the same thing every time. So did your teacher that says you could do this post their proof they did it
Right.
themselves? Now they did it. Well, what do you even bring this up to me for? You see, because I got proof.
Right.
So that's a simple thing. That is the yardstick that it seems like everyone skips. They go for a good fairy tale. No, I got proof. This is how you do it. It's really important. Whatever you're looking over out there of anything, financial or whatever, does that individual who's saying it can be done, does that individual have proof that they themselves did it? And they posted proof, right?
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right. So Amari's saying that everyone should get real estate. I agree. And if you don't think you can afford it, take advantage of the NACA program. Do you
Not even
know of the NACA program?
You're the real estate expert, man. You just said that.
I don't know what the NACA program is, but
I don't either.
it sounds good.
It sounds like it needs some proof.
Yeah. I'm closing on a house this week. FHA loans are permitted day one to transfer title. So if you have an FHA loan, you can transfer the title.
Fantastic. Let's go, and that's let's say you're buying a piece of real estate. Usually, okay, the savvy purchasers of real estate, maybe they're not using this particular trust or something. Maybe they're using another trust that doesn't have all these advantages. But it's very common for a savvy investor to put their real estate in a trust. Okay. Now you got to think about how could they do that, right? Because they probably have great personal credit, stuff like that. They're going through the lender process, blah, blah, blah. The lender, right? You want to make sure this is okay with your lender. The lender is going to be like, okay, you're going to personally guarantee this stuff that at the closing table or whatever they call it in your state, we're going to put it in the name of a trust. You're going to get a warranty deed. You're going to have a lawyer fill out the paperwork. They just fill it out then to go in the name of a trust. Then, right then, at the closing table. That's common for savvy investors to do that. So I'm not saying every time you buy real estate you could do that. FHA might not have a pathway to do that, but they might. You see what I'm saying? So it's worth an inquiry. Whoever's lending, in this case FHA, if you could do it just at the closing table. You still personally guarantee this stuff. That doesn't go away. We're talking about ownership, and that ownership in a like Christian church sounded trust. That's what's going to get approved at the county level for that property tax exemption. You see?
I got some more information. While the FHA is a good mortgage, the NACA mortgage is a significantly better. FHA requires a down payment, has a higher interest rate and significant closing costs, and a high mortgage insurance.
Wow.
So I guess the NACA is a better product. So you got to look into that. That was a good one.
Thanks.
And Mario said I'll put the information of the program in Heartbeat tomorrow. That'd be good. I'll be looking for that.
Man, this is the coolest thing about my work, honestly, now, because I've been doing this a number of years. Now all my homies are doing it too. We're in the classroom together, and this is this. Let's just say it. It takes a really intelligent person to digest this information, because it's not like mainstream. You got to deprogram yourself. You got to go, oh, hey, he's got proof and all that, So this is incredibly savvy people who are doing this, and we're all in there in the classroom. And this isn't going to be the first hack or the first, anything like that. What Amari's going to put in there. Hey, I appreciate it. I want to downplay it. I'm just saying there are a whole lot of smart people in there doing a lot of interesting things. So not just me being helpful as a moderator in there, but there are a lot of other smart people in there that are doing some things and got some ideas of success, and they're posting proof. Because one of the things, like my work, my slogan is proof up or shut up. So I'm like, don't tell a fairy tale in there. If you've done something, post your proof, or if it's just information, okay, maybe, but I really want the information tied to you did it. Great, you did it. Show us how. Fantastic. That's the main thing, because everyone will jump in.
Here's I found this, NACA.com. NACA is the go-to organization for affordable home ownership, particularly for people of color, well established in the minority community, with people telling their relatives and friends and neighbors, coworkers, and others that NACA is the place to go for affordable home ownership. So, NACA.com.
That's super helpful, Omari. And I think, what you're giving away, your cool stuff, you see that other people are giving away their hacks and what they've learned too.
Our friend Kelly says, a little update on the tax return package, looking at 160,000. As soon as we receive it and verify that 100% works, you might be getting a nice document in the mail in an email to put up. So looking to send in proof.
I promise not to say a word about this, okay? And I'm going to keep my promise. This is the first time Kelly said a word about this. This guy's got a tax hack that is so... This is what's happening. People are taking my work, and then they're like going, hey, let me try this, you know what I mean? And they're trying another thing on their own. It's a totally separate thing. They're still doing all my work and stuff, so they have a, safe place to put money and all that. But they're like, let me see if I can work the system over here. And Kelly and Ethan are, man, do they know how to work a system. They have been doing this and showing me proof that they've been doing this for a couple years now. And I'm not gonna say another word about it because kudos to them. I know I've seen their proof, and I know my what I told them is you have to make this so everyone can do it. That's all. If it works for you, show how it can work for other people. And they did post this a couple years ago when they had success. They're like, okay, let's do this a couple times and let's make it into a step-by-step process anyone can do. I mean, they're really, have taken to heart doing the work, being successful, and then caring about others, posting their proof and making it so other people can do it. I mean, they've taken all my work and taken it to heart. They haven't stolen my work or anything like that. They've done all my work and they're like, let's do this too, get success, and then they want to bring that opportunity to other people. I mean, and this is only one of the things they've done. You know what I'm saying? So it's really amazing.
I just put this up. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. If anybody wants to join in, come give a testimonial, ask a question live, anything you want that's not offensive. Come on in and join the room. We don't bite. But there's a link there in the chat, and you're welcome to come on and give a testimony or just tell your story or how you want how you need a little nudge in the right direction. So that link's there in the chat if anybody needs it.
And really, it's going to be, as Tim and I do this every week, it's going to be in there every week. And you don't need to wait till the end of the show or something. If you want to go live, we're going to have you jump right in. Because the main reason I'm doing this with Tim and stuff is I want other people in here. I don't want people just hear from me and like that whole story. I want to hear from other people live, and I know real people are getting this done and stuff. So anyone's welcome to say anything at any time, at any point in any show we're doing live. That's my main thing on people's mind. Not that you have to do this, I'm saying, but if anyone wants to, you're always welcome to join in. That's the main reason for this show. And
Kelly saying, honestly, IRS is our best friend in this line of work. They give us all sorts of goodies with their little loopholes and tricks.
I'm telling you, some people are doing some things out there that are really profound. They really are. And someone like Tim, hey, I got my trust. So like, a year plus ago or something like that. And then Kelly, who's had many years, and, and they've been like, sharpening knives every week. Let's go at them. And they have, because once you get this work and then your financial situation, everyone has their life financially destroyed. Not everyone, but most people before they come to this work, because hey, if nothing's going wrong, right, what's the problem, right? You don't change your life. So but once it gets crashed and you come to this, then you're like, the whole rest of your life, like me, you're looking for some payback. You know what I'm saying? However you can stitch it up with them and take every nickel they got, that's all you care about anymore. Because what? You realize they stole the whole thing from everyone. So all you're trying to do is get everything from them and give them nothing. So that's what we're always working on.
Just a couple of things here. Aaron says FHA loan and other Department of Agriculture are eligible for grants to cover downs and closing costs. And he says, I'm not out of pocket any dollars for my house purchase. Nice. Well done.
Fantastic. And this is what we'd love to have in the classroom. If you could go in there and like, hey, this is what I did and stuff like that. So many people would benefit from exactly what you told. Not like, thousands. No, so many of your homies doing the same work. That's all I'm saying.
Kelly says, I personally have to say, this is Ethan, aka Kelly's Minion, that this is the best kind of work one can be in. There's almost limitless opportunity and can be a wonderful creative exercise. Yeah.
Ethan, if you don't mind, please, can you please blow everyone's mind and tell them your age, please?
Quit hogging the floor. There's no hogging.
No, hog it up, please. If you don't mind, could you please type in how old you are, please? Let's really blow people's mind. If you don't mind, please. Yeah, Minion. Oh my goodness. Can you anyway, if you could, I'd really appreciate it. I think it would help people, because people are like, I don't know if this is real. And then they're gonna find out your age, and then they could be like, wait a second. 18. And he's been doing this for years. If I'm not
He
wrong,
started at 13, he says.
that's what I was gonna say. If I'm not wrong, I was gonna say he started at 13. Come on, people. You see what I'm saying? Come
Right.
on. What a great grandfather. Kelly is his grandfather. Watch over. I mean, talk about, you know, wow, I can't even say enough. And he's 100% all day long saying Jesus Christ. This is somebody, his grandfather is absolutely with God. And so, I mean, talk about an upbringing, like this has got to be one of the cleverest individuals alive in his age group at 18. If he isn't the cleverest, you know what I'm saying? These two are doing just phenomenally. I can't even say enough good about these two. It's amazing.
It's just a little paperwork, folks. The bureaucracies fear me. Yeah. That's I think that was a famous line in I don't know, it was one of those uh Tom Cruise movies when Jack Nicholson said you can't handle the truth. Part of those lawyers, they were like, I'm gonna bury you in paperwork. And that's that's what Kelly's getting at. Or is it Ethan? Just fill out the paperwork. Get the paperwork in. And if they say no, this isn't it, because I did when I registered with the Secretary of State, they sent it back twice.
Yeah.
But on the third time, they said, okay, here you go, you're all set. So, it took a couple times, and it's a jab when you get the back saying, no, we can't approve this, but you switch it up, try it again, and push it back.
Yeah.
So
Ethan, thank you for saying your age. It's totally amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like really, pat yourself on the back, man. This is really, I couldn't be happier. It's so rare when my work takes hold because I've been doing this a long time in multi generations.
mhm.
It really is rare, and to see it like take off to this level in this one case and other cases, it's just that people hear it really. I think it inspires them to do the work. So thank you for doing that. It just shows, 18-year-old being fine saying their age and all this stuff online. Talk about deprogramming, and being fine with this and trusting others who have proof and truth. He trusts me in this show to say that. I mean, I don't know. It's just that's the best part of my work for me is to see it take hold in the younger generation, plant that seed to help others there. Because I know they're absolutely being lied to about every single thing.
Mhm. He says, "You know how many trusts I've set up for others? The probably mountain size of paperwork I've done. If a little kid can do it, anyone you can too. Uh, if I changed 100, I think there's more of that. Yeah. If I changed 100, if I charged 100, I'd be a millionaire by now. Yeah.
Right. These guys respect my work and they're only helping out their close family and friends. They're
Mhm.
not like out there giving away my work and none of that stuff.
Right.
Not doing that. I just want to qualify what he's saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine? 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Ethan. It's Ethan. Kelly is the grandfather, and so Ethan's always flying under the radar, filling out Kelly's stuff all the time. He's like, I'm not an age. Click, click, click. Paperwork. Boop, 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 boop. uh, Kelly doesn't have the best eyesight, so Ethan's always giving him a hand, and coming from the generation like my generation, Kelly, he's not like Mr. Techie, but Ethan. yo, it's easy for him on that end. So what a 1-2 combo, these two. Like they have, Kelly's absolutely with God, taught him the right thing, don't listen to the, programming and stuff. And then Ethan, he's got all these skills, and the two of them, it's just like head on collision. Oh, we're pushing your train. Sorry, get out of the way. I love these two. I love these two.
When Jack, have you written a book yet?
I have. It's in the mentor program. It comes with the Mechanic Mastery Trust. It's in
There
there.
you go. This
Yeah.
question came in: what book can we read to get started?
It's only available in the Mechanic Mastery Trust bundle. In the mentor program, it's in there. It's called the Inner Circle, and my book is in there. Can't get it anywhere else. First of all, it'd take me a lot of time and energy and expertise to get it up somewhere and so on. And who even gives a crap about it? The people doing this work, they do, so I get it to them. Maybe it'll go out there in the future. I don't care about that. I only care about people that assign the trust. The rest of the people, I can't help them. I can only help the people that assign this trust. I can't help anyone else. It doesn't work for you. You need the trust to put all the money into. Otherwise, you can't do a single thing I'm talking about. So.
Well, Jack, to finish up the show here, we have a guest that joined in. Amari has stepped up to say hello.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
Thank you.
My phone is actually on 5%, so I just wanted to show some proof real quick. I wanted to just say thank you so much for what you're doing. If you have a truist, right, in your state or in your city, I got approved right here. You'll see the business card through Truist in my trust name, which is my faith-based trust. They approved me for $15,000 already. Nice. So they're giving out pretty good limits. Now, I did have to PG for it, but I had pretty good credit. But on the record, off the record, I'm very much so an abolitionist, and I believe in everything that we're doing as a group because the system has to change. So that's all I wanted to show is just some proof real quick that, guys, it works if you work the system. And just go out there and do it. I'm so excited to learn more.
You helped me. I haven't been to Truist, so I got them right down the street. I've been wondering about them. You helped me in particular. Thank you, Amari.
Yeah, the best thing about Truist right now, if you have a bank account attached to the credit card, they're giving an additional 10% back when payments are made from your personal account over to your credit card. So you have the likelihood of getting up to 15% cash back just for having a business card with them. And they'll approve you in your trust and allow you to PG for it. So some free games, some free sauce for y'all.
Okay, Amari, please come on earlier next week.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be running the show. No, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. Thank you for showing that. You helped out a lot of people. You helped me in particular and many other people that are listening. Really appreciate your coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And again, look up the NACA program. I'm like a huge supporter and advocate. It does say, for people with minorities, but anybody can take advantage of this program. It's not credit-based or income-based. All you have to do is meet certain qualifications and go. Now, this is the trick right here. I'm just giving some free game away that people gave to me, right? So they have a conference every 3 to 4 months. And if you actually go to the conference instead of going through the program itself, you can get approved up to $300,000 for a property. Within that period of time, there's like a 3-day conference, but they'll approve you the same day that you go out to the conference. So I'll be going to Norfolk, Virginia this month. It's the 17th through the 19th. If you can make it, if anyone can make it and they're not already a homeowner, just look up the qualifications of the program. It's right there online. Get there and get a property. I would personally advise you to get a multi-family unit. That way you don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay a mortgage. Take care of itself. So some free information. Hope y'all use it. Again, John, Tim, you guys are doing great work. Thank you so much. And let's do this.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to look at it gory there. I actually have to go up north about that time. So fantastic. Maybe you and I will be like, hey, Amari, how are you? Maybe we'll see each other in Norfolk. That would be great, man.
I'll be there, so just let me know.
Oh, you will? Oh, now.
And I'm going to drop this information in Heartbeat tomorrow because I've registered, but I really haven't been in there. But I obviously need to take advantage of just the information I know that's already there. So I'll definitely put that wherever I can in Heartbeat. And whoever wants to take advantage, please do.
Thank you. Okay,
Awesome.
on that note, I'm going to help you the most that I possibly can. Jesus Christ, watch over Amari and all his work. Okay, I
Thank you.
really, that's the most I can do for anyone. And you earned it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seriously. All right, guys. Before my phone dies, I just want to say God bless and take care. Okay.
All right, God bless you, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Excellent. All right.
Excellent.
That's a complete show
man.
right there.
Wow. I mean, talk about a finish. What just happened there? What? I got to absorb all that and do my work on that. Man, everybody wants to see that proof. I'm going to be posting that proof when I get both of those things done.
Yeah. Good
Tim,
stuff.
And no, Tim, if you had it come in and you had to make it so we could do this back and forth with people, that wouldn't just happen. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It's always good. And the reason why I'm here is because, you're always giving out great information, and it's great to, get people to join in, add a little, spice that they're putting on top of your recipe. And it's just amazing. So, we can see it gets done, and there's, plenty of ways to bake a cake and just get it done. So I'm excited. That's great info today.
It is. However you want to outro this thing, with some music, or we just shut the door or whatever. This has been a great show, Tim. Thank you so much for hosting us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. We'll do it again next week, 7:00, and we'll have some fun. Joanne saying thank you very much. Also, trust registered with the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
You can name your trust with the Secretary of State. Yep. But yeah, rewatch that. We can
ask your questions. Come on, I want to see you this week, Joe, on it, everyone. Okay.
Yes. Very good. All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up, and we'll be back next week.